Greetings, sixth graders. If you are watching this video, something must have gone horribly wrong. Maybe you were absent, or maybe you were here and you're just still confused. Either way, let's try to help you. Here's how you do sample space tree diagram. Sample space just means showing all the mathematical possibilities that can happen in a given situation. So here's our situation. Let's read it together. It says, Charlie had 2 red marbles, 2 blue marbles, 2 yellow marbles, and 1 green marble in a bag. He picked 2 marbles at random from the bag. Create a diagram showing all the possible color combinations of the 2 marbles that Charlie could pick. So I've gone ahead and just sort of organized this for us. Here's our 2 red, our 2 blue, our 2 yellow, and our 1 green. Now, chances are they wouldn't do that for you, so they're just not that nice. So let's go ahead and let's just make our own bag. So we would say, okay, red and red. What do we got? Blue and blue. I don't have my full complement of colors here, but that's okay. Maybe Y and G, and that's our bag. Okay, so we've got 1 red, 1 blue, 1 yellow, 1 green. Okay, so this is our situation. Now we want to show a diagram to show all the possibilities that could happen if he picked 2 marbles at random. Random means he's not going to look in the bag. He's going to make one selection, pull it out, and then make another selection. Okay, so let's go ahead and show what could happen. So if he reaches into our bag, what could happen on the first draw? Well, let's just start here. Could he get a red? Well, yeah, of course he could. So he could get a red, and I'll put an R there. Is that the only possibility? Well, no, he could also get a blue. So I'm going to skip some space and put a B for blue. Is that the only 2 things that could happen? No, he could, of course, get a yellow. I'll skip a little space. And the other possibility that could happen, he could very well pull out a green. Now, it's not a great possibility because there's only 1, but it could happen. So we show it here. So on the first pick, he could get a red, a blue, a yellow, or green. Well, we're halfway done. Now we just show what could happen on the second pick. So now we want to assume here that he picked a red. So if he picked a red, we'll just assume he picks a red. What can happen on the second pick? Okay, well, if he reaches in, is there another red to get? There is, so I'm going to put red. He could get red and red. Could he get a blue on the second pick? Well, sure. There'd be 2 blues sitting there if he picked a red the first time. Could he get a yellow? Hopefully by now you're sort of getting it. And could he get a green? Yes, he could. Now, the tree part comes from here. This line means red on the first pick, red on the second pick. This line means red on the first pick, blue on the second pick, and so on. Red on the first pick, yellow, red on the first pick, green on the second pick. So you end up seeing we've got 4 branches here, and that's why we call it the tree diagram. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and assume that we've got, let me do a little doctoring over here. So let's assume now we didn't get a red on the first pick, we got a blue on the first pick. So let's go ahead and cross off the blue. When we reach into the bag the second time now, what could happen? Well, we could get a red. I'm just going to extend it out to here just so it's not so confusing. Could we get a blue on the second pick? Well, yes, there's actually another blue in there, so we could get blue. Could we get a yellow? Yeah, we could. Could we get a green? Excuse me. So what you see is we could go blue and then red, blue and then blue, blue and then yellow, blue and then green. So this 4 possibilities here, 4 possibilities here. Now let's go on to yellow. So let's make the assumption now that on the first pick we don't get blue, but we get yellow. So that was our first pick. Okay, well, what could happen then? Well, could we get a red? Yes, and I'll pick up the pace a little bit here. We could get blue, we could get another yellow, because there's 2, and we could also get that 1 lonely green, and I'll go ahead and draw my tree. So it starts to look, I guess, something like a tree. Now, this one gets interesting. because here, how many greens were there to start? Well, there's just this one lonely green. So if that happened on our first choice, remember back, this is our first choice. It's going to change things when we come to this. So let's just keep that in mind. Could we get a red? Certainly could. Could we get a blue? No problem. Could we get a yellow? Absolutely. Now, could we get another green? No, because we've already selected it and there was only one green. So you really have to just keep that in mind. So draw your branches. These are your possibilities. And now let's just count them. How many possibilities here? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 things could happen there. 1, 2, 3, 4 things could happen here. 1, 2, 3, 4 things could happen here. 1, 2, 3 things could happen here. So let's just add all these up. 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 possible combinations. Now, we don't have to go this fancy, but we are counting a red-blue combination as different than a blue-red combination. You don't have to worry about that right now, but just understand that we are considering these different. We're just counting the order, so there's 15 possible things that could happen. Hopefully you feel a little bit better about sample space tree diagrams. See you later.